Hey, Antoine,
Oh, oui, go affaire. Oui.
you do a lot of these celebrations with the funny fingers and jumping up and down.
Like when I almost ruined the World Cup final, huh?
Yes, exactly. What do you think to this one? I think about using it tomorrow if we win against Juventus. Here, watch.
Oh, it's what does it mean?
It means we have balls, cojones. Come on.
Oh yes, because you grab the balls, yes?
Yes, you got it. So you think I should do this if we win?
I don't know, Gaffer. It seems a bit, je ne sais pas comment se dire, direct.
Oh,
A bit
because
direct.
direct. Si, directo. Because we are rectico. We play directo. We play football with our cojones, Antoine. If we were a pair of bullocks, we'd be a huge pair.
Yes, but
No, but Antoine.
No,
I think this is not enough. Maybe I should take out the balls.
both balls?
Yes, one ball for each goal. What do you think?
What if we score 3?
Then I will take out my third ball.
Gaffer, you have 3 balls?
See, of course I have 3 balls. You don't have 3 balls?
Oh, maybe you should keep the balls in the pantalon, huh? If not, they make you watch from the box again, Gaffer. Oh.
See, right. I didn't like it up there. I couldn't shout at anyone, Antoine. Okay, I will just make a love heart over my balls if we win. Good chat, Antoine. Over, go off and shower.
Oh, okay, Gaffer. Okay. You weird bastard. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Born Offside. We've got lots of football for you this week. And in this edition of the preview show for the weekend, we've got the League Cup final with Chelsea versus Manchester City, was it Manchester City versus Spanksville? I think is probably what it's going to be, something like that. Anyway, we've got a plethora of Premier League matches to look forward to, and there's a small matter of the Champions League and the FA Cup ties to look back on as well. It's all getting a bit juicy. With me, miles away on the other side of the planet, literally on the other side of the planet, because it's just, I could use it as a metaphorical thing, actually. Oh my God, you're so amazing that you're on the other side of the planet to me, man. It's just so fucking amazing, man. Love it. Dave, do tell us, how's it going? What are you up to? What are you doing?
I'm sat in my front room doing a podcast with you, mate.
Okay. Anyway, go on.
You know Gareth Bale's love heart. You know this. You know
Oh,
this thing.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know Gareth Bale. Do you think the Diego Simeone interpretation of this over your balls is going to be the next big thing in football? Because he's getting a lot of stick, mate. He's getting a lot of stick. There's people saying it's vulgar. There's also like people on other podcasts saying stuff like, well, I'm not sure how you would describe it. I'm calling it the ball love heart or the bollock love heart. Mate, I love it. I love this man.
For anyone who has not seen this, you must go and see this because half of our show is going to be based on this.
Don't listen to people describe it. Go see it.
Just go see it. I was watching the match here in Australia at 7:30 in the morning with my kids, and we were waking up, getting ready to go to school.
Daddy,
now, one of my kids,
Daddy, where's the man doing that?
One of my kids is 7.
I'd have just gone 1-0 up, sweetheart. It's a perfectly reasonable way to behave.
Mate, I blame the parents. I mean, if Simeone's doing this kind of stuff now, what was he doing when he was being brought up by his parents? And what were his parents teaching him and educating him? I mean, it was obviously he's taken the...
Diego Simeone had parents. Believe he was raised in the wild by wolves.
I thought you were going to say balls. I didn't think he had balls. He was like, nah, I think you got that one wrong, mate.
Massive balls. Like
you can see how big they are.
Christmas ornament-sized balls.
Mate, does that mean if you step on them, they just... You know, I don't know. I don't think so.
If you step on them,
not these ones.
Because the balls are so hard, you just explode on impact with them.
Mate, is Angel Di Maria? We were speaking about him in the last podcast with everything that he did over at Manchester United. He's got a love heart celebration as well, doesn't he? But his love heart celebration is a little bit like he's a bit of a p***, isn't he? Really, when he comes down to it, you know, when you watch him, and he's a bit of a I just wanna go, I'm gonna do it. Fucking Simeone, mate, has just gone. This is not how it's done. Check this out. I'll get it on the screen. Hang on. That's what it's gone for. I've got children, by the way, and I do children's parties. If anyone's in need, of course, at any point in time.
Embarrassed for knowing this.
So the Australian commentators here were like, because we watched it, and you know, like on the cameras, they just cut, because the director's like,
even in Australia. In Australia, I should imagine that's a very normal thing to happen.
Oh, then they go over and they replay it later. But unfortunately in Australia we get the same.
You get the Spanish
same. Broadcast or whatever. I think they just do like one universal broadcast, right? And then I'm not sure exactly of the details or anything, but whether different countries do different broadcasts for different ones. But I'm pretty sure that most of them go on one or maybe a second one or something, so they can get different views. But pretty much everyone watches the same thing, but they might have different commentators, for example. So the
Australian commentators were like, I think he's pretty happy about that.
Mate, they just all laughed when it went back to the studio because they were watching the second. Is that the second goal celebration or the first goal celebration?
It's the first. I believe it's Jimenez.
It's the first.
I think it's the first. Jimenez.
So he's okay. So yes. So Jimenez. So Jimenez got the first. That's right. And then cut to Diego Simeone, and suddenly he turns around, faces his bench, pretty much. I mean, he came out afterwards and said, I was just facing the crowd. But he wasn't. He was facing his bench, and all the players on his bench. It was like, this is me telling you that I'm justifying my selection for the players that were out on the pitch.
Oh. Mate, it was a very enjoyable game, was it not? I mean, the first half was honestly a bit tepid. But the second half, Simeone's almost got like... Someone said something to Diego at halftime, and he's gone.
I'm not happy.
Mate, I think there's only one man in the world who rivals him for sheer kind of bulldogged bastardry, and that's Gennaro Gattuso at Milan.
Oh,
but
yes,
sometimes they're good, sometimes it may be shit. Like this. Oh, just. Mate, but anyway, Diego's obviously got... And second half, Atleti have come out and they had 2 goals ruled off of... Was it 2? They definitely had 1 goal ruled off for VAR.
Definitely had 1.
Which Chiellini, I'm sorry, has taken a dive. And I felt for... You've got to feel for Morata. He literally can't VAR a goal, let alone buy one. But
that's true.
Griezmann's at the bar, and I think they've had one cleared off of the line, and then
Griezmann's at the bar to an amazing save by Szczęsny, hasn't he? I mean, that was fingertip stuff. But anyway, Atletico could really. I mean, if it was 4-0 at the end of the match, I think everybody would have been, fair enough, because it really was one of those games. First half, like you said, 0-0, bit tepid, bit boring, bit of what everybody expected, I think, from a game from that game. But yeah, I mean, the game that everybody thought that was going to be the thigh rubber was supposed to be Bayern Munich and Liverpool, but this one was way more exciting.
Oh, and the crowd.
Second half,
oh, you know, they were jumping up and down.
like people who jump up and down.
Oh,
you know, those crazy jumping up and down people. You just find them randomly.
Jumpy, uppy, downy, jumpy. Oh,
yeah. Mate, it was. It's a 2-0 win. It's something very exciting, obviously, for the Atletico Madrid team, supporters, and everybody involved with Atletico Madrid, because this year's Champions League final is, of course, at the home of Atletico Madrid, isn't it? So the incentive and all the talk about the incentive around Atletico's push this third time in recent seasons is driven behind the fact that they'd be kind of, in effect, playing at home if they get to the final.
I don't like that. If they get to the final, they should switch it.
All right, you tell them.
I don't like it.
See what,
mate. The other fantastic. Yeah, they'll listen to me. The other fantastic thing that came about due to this game was, of course, certain Portuguese fella deflecting in the second goal, and then apparently storming through the mix zone and pointing at one camera and shouting, 0! Atletico Madrid have 0 Champions Leagues. I have 5. And that's the reason why we love him. Because in those moments when he could be graciously admitting defeat, he's like a 5-year-old guy. I got 5 Champions Leagues. You got none. Don't you do those things about me? I'm Cristiano Ronaldo.
It reminded me of Mourinho with
I don't want to play with you.
3 titles. 3 titles. I mean, yeah, it is very, very silly and very childish, and but he is still a child. How old is he? 33, 34? So, he's still a baby. Give him a chance. I don't know. This has been a long-lasting. I'm going to go on the protection side here because I'm Portuguese, obviously. But this is a long-lasting thing that people do and gesture to crowds. I've got 1 title, 5 titles, whatever. Go fuck yourselves. There's a lot of shit that goes on, right? And we all say that the players shouldn't react and they shouldn't go for it. I like the fact that it's reacting. It shows that he's got a bit of spunk in him.
Well, and also it shows that it hurts him, and it makes me happy that it hurts him, because
there you go then,
mate. I don't know how you feel about Juventus this year, but they got rid of the granddaddy of football, the man who we all love, good old Gigi Buffon, and I feel like in previous years everyone was like, "Oh, I'd like it if Gigi won it." Gigi's never won it. Has Gigi never won it? Oh, it'd be nice if
Gigi's never won it. He's never won it.
Unbelievable. He's got all the other ones. Let's get him a nice little trophy. And
I thought we gave him one for his birthday last time. No, wasn't it? Was his 39th birthday?
And what you've done is they've sold Gigi and they've brought in the devil. They've acquired. We'll go, oi, fellas. There is one thing we can use to get this done. Oh, what's that? We could get a fucking big gun. A gun? Isn't that cheating? I mean, yeah, strictly speaking, this is a sword fight, but we could go buy that massive, great big fucking gun over there. Shoot everybody with it. Yeah, how much is it? 99 mil. Oh, bit expensive, isn't it? No, mate, works a treat. Last 4 years in a row. Whip this thing out, shoot everybody. Champions League all night long.
Bob's your uncle.
Looks a bit old. It's a bit old. It still works. You reckon? All right, let's be having it then. And then Juventus have got their big gun out, and it's firing blanks.
Oh, do not speak too soon, of course, because what's the deal? Mate, come on. I mean, this is perfectly set up for Ronaldo to go back and score a fucking hat-trick. And he probably will. He probably will. And It'll be a perfect hat trick. It'll be one with his head, one with his foot, one with his big fat balls, and he'll go right up to Simeone afterwards, in his face. We'll see. Look, I'm not a big Simeone fan, and I am a big Ronaldo fan, of course, because I'm Portuguese.
If he does that, respect to him.
Spain.
I mean, genuinely, if Ronaldo were to do that, that would be the most respect I've ever paid the man. Unfortunately, the second...
Simeone would punch him in the face, though, wouldn't he? Simeone would literally... Straight away, like, imagine he comes running right up to him after he scores the third in the 89th minute to put them out, because it's 2-0. They think they're going to extra time and penalties, and then bang, he scores in the 89th minute. And he's doing that annoying thing when he's going to celebrate, but he pushes everyone away, and like he's starting running. The camera never really knows where he's going for. He could be running for, someone let the chickens out, quick! Someone let the chickens out! Get out of my way! I gotta stop the chickens from getting out the coop. But he's not. He's running somewhere, and this time he runs straight towards Diego Simeone, stops in front of him, a bit like when Van Nistelrooy teased that guy after he said, he just stopped right in front of him. Get the balls out. Get the cojones out.
And then if Simeone proper thumps him, I hope that the rest of the entourage just let them have it, fellas.
Yeah. Break it up. No, guys, just let him go.
We let this one play out. We let it play out. It goes where it goes. If one of them ends up dead, one of them ends up dead. Oh, mate. Oh, I'm looking forward to that second leg now.
Oh, it's gonna be really tasty. I think it really is, mate. Diego Simeone is almost 50, as Cholo. And Ronaldo.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 48 years old, mate. 48, 1970. Same as my sister. And basically he's still very agile for a 48-year-old. I mean, he gets those dancing moves down nicely. He's still there. I guess when you got it, you never lose it, right? So we've got Diego Simeone, who's 48 years old. We've got Ronaldo, who's 33, 34. Ronaldo is at the peak of his physique and physical state at this very moment in time. But I still fancy Diego over the two of them.
Well, in a fight? Because Diego would fight as dirty as possible. Some people who
he'd never give up. He'd never give up.
Some people who fight dirty would fight dirty when pushed into a corner. Simeone would start dirty and get dirtier. He would.
And he'd probably start with a slap, just a slap, and then just look straight in his eye and go, "Are we really doing this, mate?"
But then you would see that actually his hand was covered in some kind of venom injecting device, and half of your face, because that's the kind of scumbag he is.
All right, okay, let's move on from possible fights that we would love to have seen, and continue on very, very quickly with our finish up of the Champions League, because we've got a lot of stuff to get our teeth stuck into. Mate, the other three matches in the Champions League were Liverpool 0, Bayern Munich 0, boring, and quite frankly, not even worth talking about. Lyon 0, Barcelona 0. Barcelona had 25 shots on goal and scored none. Boring. And really not really worth talking about. We've spoken about Atletico Madrid against Juventus, and the other game, which was not boring, which everyone expected to be boring and very one-sided, was, and even yourself as well, Schalke 0-4, who you expected 0-4 as a scoreline. 2, Manchester City 3, but the score, even though it was away from home, doesn't quite tell the tale of the whole match, does it? Really?
Mate, what a weird-ass game that was. City 1-0 up after 20 minutes, and you're thinking, Schalke will be lucky to keep this to 4. And then Nicolas Otamendi, speaking of balls, Nicolas Otamendi, handles a ball but doesn't handle a ball. That's a weird one, mate. What was your perspective on that? I've looked at that, and I can't decide if it's definitely a penalty because he could have got his hand out of the way quicker, or there's no way it can be a penalty because he was trying to get his hand out of the way. I can't make up my mind on it. I do feel that he didn't deserve a yellow because he then gets the second yellow, gets sent off. And it was nice to see Bentaleb again. I've forgotten about Bentaleb. He used to play for Spurs. Didn't know he took such a nice penalty. Took two lovely penalties. Mate, you know me, I love a good pen. And then what happened for the second? Well, the second one I thought was a nailed-on foul. Fernandinho's given him the love hug, and that's not.
Yeah.
That's not legal.
No, it's definitely not legal. He's, as much as well, we never mind a love hug here and there. It obviously depends on the circumstances. It depends on who you're actually going to be doing the love hug with. Then fine. But I know what you mean by the Otamendi one. If he wasn't from Argentina, I'd say it wasn't on purpose. But he is, and I have a feeling that
it was.
I'm just going on track record here. I'm just going on track record a little bit. Yes, the ball came to him very fast, but there's something that goes on in Latin people's minds. I can tell you that because half of my brain is Latin, and occasionally putting your hand in where the trajectory of the ball is going to is something. There's a magnetism to it, and you just want to do it so much. And most people who want to do it are able to, sense, take it away. Not the RGs. The RGs do love a little bit of an onion bhaji coming towards their hands, and I think it was on purpose. I think he actually leans into that penalty as well. He sort of, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he can get his arm out the way if he wants to, but he thinks, I'll just leave it there just in case, and if it hits it, I can make an argument for the fact that it was accidental. I think he could, it happens very quickly, but I think he can get his hand out of the way. It's a penalty. Besides, he's from Argentina.
Okay,
so it's definitely a penalty.
And then
Leroy
Sané. Leroy.
Yep.
Wonderful name. We should have more players called Leroy.
We should.
Leroy Sané takes one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. That's the thing that gets thrown around a lot, but that free kick was literally unstoppable. Like, there's nothing you could have done to stop that, other than, like, if you put the goalkeeper in the corner where he'd struck it, but then you would have left the rest of the goal open. It was undefendable. The ball's gone. Mate, I'm suggesting, like, if the wall is about 6 foot high, it felt like the ball travelled 4 foot over the wall and then has dipped and swerved and curled into the postage stamp. Mate, what a goal. I think the last goal I saw like that was the Payet one. You remember the Dimitri Payet scored one for West Ham against Crystal Palace, and the goalkeeper's seen that come over the wall and go, well, that's not going in, and then he's gone, woof.
Yeah. Well, it dipped. I think one of the first pens that we've seen, probably not. We've probably seen them a hell of a lot more before, but with that kind of technique, with that kind of skill, the first time I think I remember seeing it, certainly live in the flesh, was Ronaldo against Portsmouth. With David James. I mean, that pen, the way he hits it, and David Luiz has taken that to a new level as well, and he's the way he hits those free kicks, it's kind of with the inside of your boot. You wouldn't imagine that you'd ever be able to get that kind of power with it, but the ball travels through the air, and I think you've mentioned it on a podcast here beforehand. It's so beautiful when you see it in instant replay, and you can still see the Nike or Diodoro or Adidas logo on it as it flies through the air. There's a nice feeling about that, and that was the kind of shot. It's the kind of knuckleball shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That one. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, and I think Sané didn't celebrate for the goal afterwards. I know what you think about non-celebrations, but to be fair to him, he did have a long history at Schalke, so it's not like he just stayed there for a season or two. He was there when he was 12, 13 years old, for God's sake. So I kind of, he's still got lots of friends and lots of family, and lots of people that he knows there. So I think in respect,
he's also called Leroy, and he has an afro, so it's kind of all right for him to be like, I just scored, very calm about it. Honestly,
it's true.
Leroy Sané
doesn't have to put his hands up, right? He doesn't. Yeah.
Leroy Sané's face and just general air of Leroy Sané doesn't suit a Tardelli. Like Pogba, for example, looks really good when he gives it the Tardelli. He's got an expressive face as Pogba. like with that, yeah, like, or a Simeone or a Gattuso, like, yeah, go on, fella, give it the. But if Leroy Sané started Tardelli, mate, it's not going to look right. Sorry, it's not. I think
you're right.
It's all right. I think it was.
We should probably go through a list of players sometime that we think do and do not suit it, and maybe even try to find people who have tried to do the Tardelli but just don't look like, it's just not working. Yeah, we should probably go through it. But you're right, Leroy Sané doesn't come across as the kind. In fact, I don't think there's many people in that Manchester City side that would or do or could look good doing a Tardelli, really. I can't. Aguero.
It's too calm. It's too calm for it. De Bruyne, maybe.
Yeah, could be. He's probably the angriest of all those.
Well, Otamendi could do it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I know. Argentina players from Argentina don't count. You're not allowed to put them in there. They're born Tardellis. Yeah, when they're born straight away. Mind you, most of us are born kicking and screaming. I wasn't. I was born.
Not Leroy Sané, mate. He came out painlessly. Like,
you see, they're all like that, Bernardo Silva, is the kind of guy that you want to take home and introduce to your parents, he is. He's a lovely boy, and
we discussed this during the World Cup. We were like, he shouldn't be allowed. Yeah. We were like, I was advocating that he wouldn't be allowed to play in the Uruguay game because he was just too nice a fella.
Just too nice, yeah. He just no. You can't put him in there. It's not fair. For him and for people watching as well, because we know what's going to happen. Broken.
And then Raheem Sterling goes down the other end and scores a third, and you're like, oh, well.
What kind of game was it? It was unbelievable. I mean, if it had ended 2-2, I think that it just would have. There would have been a real tension around, coming back to the Etihad and go for it. I know, not really. Technically, they should still win. I know, but there just would have been that kind of, oh gosh, well, everyone thought we were going to win, and it was tight. Yes, we did win, but it was tight. Now it's going to be a little bit trickier, So
I think it's testament to Manchester City's brilliance that they've gone to Schalke, scored 3 goals and won away from home in the last 16 of the Champions League. And because Schalke have got 2, it almost feels like City lost. Like it almost feels like they didn't win. And then I'm like looking at it going, well, hang on, they've scored 3 away goals and they won the match.
They all get back to the dressing room as well. And I think one of Pep's friends didn't actually watch the match. He goes, Pep, did we win? Yeah, it was 3-2. Oh, so we lost. Oh no, they scored 2 goals. yeah, they scored 2, but we scored 3. Yeah, so we lost. Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, 100%. You're totally right. It's like if another team scores a goal against Man City, then it always does. It feels like they've lost it. But I mean, sometimes these things happen, especially in Europe. Schalke doing so badly in the Bundesliga at the moment, down at 14th or 15th place at the moment. They have had an abysmal season by their standards, seeing as they actually ended up runners up to Bayern Munich last year. And it's so typical of European teams who do badly. Another one is, for example, which happened this year as well, was in the UEFA Cup. Villarreal are playing Sporting Lisbon. And Villarreal are 1 point off relegation, and 1 point off bottom spot. They're in the relegation, 1 point off bottom spot. Yet they still managed to go to Sporting and win 1-0. These European ties can bring something out of players who are not giving it their most during the league campaigns, right? So it can happen a lot, and you do see it in European competitions. So maybe what Pep can take away from this is that he can go back to his to the players at the end of the match and say, look, you see, here you go. everybody was saying that we were going to actually give them a complete spanking, including Dave Hooker, who said that the scoreline would be 0-4. Don't listen to Dave. Don't listen. Yeah, boss. Thanks, Pep. Yeah, we'll see you after the game, 90 minutes. Try not to say anything on the sideline because we can't hear anyway, so don't worry about it. And then, off they go. It's 3-2. They go back to the dressing room, and Pep's mate says that they lost. It was 3-2, mate. It was a great finish by Sterling, I thought, at the end there, because he's under pressure, and it's not usually you'd go for the inside of between the post and the keeper, but he's gone the other side. Almost makes me think, I wonder if he just hit it. He's, oh my, I just hit it. Sometimes you do that, right? You're right in front of goal.
Run, kick, we'll go, wee!
Kick. Oh, I knew I was gonna do that. I'm gonna go celebrate by the flag. It was good. Man City 3, Schalke 2. Mate, very quickly, let's wrap up with the Champions League and then take a short break and talk about Sunday's match in the League Cup final. But just before we do, to wrap up the Champions League, mate, I know the other matches were very boring. We didn't give Liverpool versus Bayern any chance, any time. But 0-0 at Anfield. I'm a little bit surprised by the amount of people turning around and saying that Liverpool can still win. Because yes, fair enough that they're a slightly better team and everything. But you know what? I think Iron Robin will be back for the second leg. I think Van Dijk will probably be back as well for the second leg. But everybody was saying, Liverpool. Mate, I reckon, Bayern are going to go for it, and I think they're going to win. I think Liverpool are going to get knocked out in this next round.
No, I actually kind of
think they will.
I think Liverpool will go through. I thought Liverpool were the better team, and mate, if I could scrap one thing from European football, it's the away goals rule. I hate it. I cannot stand the away. I think I've said this before. And the fact of the matter is Liverpool just need a score draw. I mean, if they go there and it's 1-1, Liverpool go through, which is ridiculous. Like, whether you draw a game 0-0 or 1-1 home or... Oh, God, it annoys me. But I think just because of the fact that if Liverpool can go there and draw.
It's been like this for years, mate. And to be honest,
I think... right.
All right. Look,
don't defend it with you. We've been doing it for ages. Doesn't make it okay.
All right. Okay. Well, look. I've heard many arguments, like yourself as well. For and calls for changes in the rule, regardless of whether it's European football or not. It's cup competition, 2 legs. That second leg, 1 away goals rule. It's just that there are so many arguments to going either way as well. Like, for example, just the fact that in a cup in the first leg, for example, they will play 90 minutes at one stadium, and then in the second leg, if it goes to extra time, they've got that extra 30 minutes as well in the other stadium. So there's also that.
No extra. So
there's just straight to pens. All right. Okay. No. Yeah. So there's a whole heap of different things, and it just changes the mindset of the team that goes. And I must admit, I think it's very, very difficult and very complicated. Mind you, these guys are playing football, forever, and this rule has been in place for many decades. So they all know about what they need to do. It's 0-0 at home. Now they need to score draw when they go away, right? It could be 0-0 all the way, but it's very dangerous. There's lots of permutations and stuff. I mean, if it's like 80 minutes gone and it's still 0-0, Liverpool will suddenly go, we better sit back here and make sure that we get this to extra time. Because they haven't been able to score over the first 90 minutes at Anfield. They haven't been able to score over the second 80 minutes at Bayern. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be sitting back. Bayern will throw everything at them. I think Bayern are going to win. I'm sorry, I can't get past this. I think Bayern are going to win. I think it's going to be like 1 or 2-1 or 1-0. I think I can't see. I just can't see Liverpool winning this now. Also because they're so confident. It's almost ridiculous. It's almost too confident. And. I think they're going to get spanked, and everyone's going to go, oh, did that just happen? Oh, my God. Oh, I guess we can focus on the league now. And you know what? I reckon Man City will I reckon Man City will do the quadruple. And Liverpool will walk away with nothing this season. Anyway, we'll get onto that in a second.
I don't want us to do the quadruple.
We'll get onto that in a second. All right, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, let's move on to the League Cup final on Sunday.
The League Cup final. Will we see a similar display to the gesturing of ball holding? Surely not in England. The Queen would have something to say about that, no?
Welcome back, everybody. It's the League Cup final this Sunday. It's the first piece of silverware. No, it's not, because we had the Charity Shield, didn't we? So it's the second piece of no, it's not.
Don't start with your Jose Mourinho bollocks where we count the Charity Shield.
We had the World Club Cup, that one. There's the Anyway.
I don't know if it's the first or the second, but I'll tell you this now. It's Maurizio Sarri's last match as Chelsea manager.
Mate, there's no way he can stay in a job after this game, surely. I mean, the only reason why he's still in a job, I reckon, is because Abramovich is not in the country. If Abramovich was in the country, he'd take him downstairs after that last football match against Man United, and he would take him downstairs to the dungeons, which we know there's dungeons underneath Stamford Bridge. So you have to go about 17 floors deep, and it goes right down to the bottom where there's like no light. Everything's done by those flaming torches and stuff, which are sort of, illuminated by petroleum at the very top. And they get down to the bottom. There's it's like a catacomb. Is that what they call them? A catacomb?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yep. With lots of cats and combs, and cats combing their fellows. And then he's going to rape him. He'll just he'll turn him around backwards, and that'll be it. And then there's a plane, a little bit like a Batmobile kind of sort of thing. That leaves. There's a plane that leaves from the catacombs, and it actually leaves and nobody can see it, and it goes out of the side of the volcano, and everybody's like, I thought that was a volcano. It's not a volcano. No, it's not. It's got a little thing, and it breaks into like an air lane, and then it flies off, and Sarri will be back to La Bella Italia, which so he'll have a little bit of a breather. He'll probably retire. Mate, what's going on at Chelsea?
What's going on inside your mind?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty sensical. There's shit going on underneath Stamford Bridge nobody knows about. There's a plane there just in case Abramovich wants to put the manager onto it and fly him home. Scot-free. Go. He doesn't even have to say goodbye to his teammates. Just let him go. Okay, to his players. Just go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. It's a bit of a mystery that he's lasted this long. But for me, if he doesn't win this game, he's done. And they did actually beat. Like, everyone forgot that Chelsea is one of only 4 teams? Is it 4 teams who've beaten City this year? Something like that.
Yeah, and who unbeaten in their first 12, and they got off to such an amazing start. They were so fantastic. But Sarri ball is catching up with all their other balls. Maybe him and Simeone should get together and have a discussion on balls, and see who wins, who loses. It's really weird, isn't it, what's happening at Chelsea at the moment, because there's been so many shouts for give him time, but it's like they don't learn. Since Abramovich has come in, the term revolving door could not be more appropriate for managers at Chelsea. The longest lasting manager at Chelsea in the last, since Abramovich came in, I think is Mourinho, right? With 2.5 seasons under his belt. I think that's but he won fucking everything. He won everything for Chelsea in that first stint. In the second stint, he still won stuff, and Sarri has never won anything. I don't know. I think a lot of people are trying to sort of defend it by saying, look what he did at Napoli, and look how amazing his football team was at Napoli. I think that everybody's sort of saying, well, you have to give him a chance. But I think that the language barrier is a big issue. I think that he needs to communicate his ideas better.
I think the stubbornness factor is a problem. I watched the whole of the Chelsea-Manchester United game on Monday, and the Chelsea in the 80th minute he takes Azpilicueta off. Okay, off comes the right back. Good move. We need 2 goals in 10 minutes. Well, let's take the right back off, and he brings on another right back. It's just what? Like, I mean, Callum Hudson-Odoi,
yes,
is sat on the bench. One of the most exciting players of his generation. So we're led to believe. I know it's difficult to tell when you haven't actually seen him play, but you would have thought, 2 goals to go in a cup tie, maybe stick a forward. I mean, Giroud. He's big.
Yeah. I didn't get that. I did not get that at all. Giroud is the choice.
Yeah, but a right back, I mean, who in the 80th minute of a football match goes, right, take the right back off and put a different right back on. That'll fix it. Really, guys?
Do we have another right back?
We need, how many goals we need? 2, Gaffer. 2 right back. If only one, I change the left back.
Gianfranco Zola's like, okay, I'll go with you. I'll go with you, Gaffer, but this is not. This is how you did it when you're at Napoli.
I want to disagree, but he chose cigarettes, and any man who choose cigarettes, you don't mess with him.
Yeah. And he writes essays as well. Have you noticed as well? He does a lot of writing on the side there. I think he's writing letters to his estranged ex-girlfriend, who he always dearly wished that he had taken his vows with, as opposed to his current wife. But it's fine. It's okay. Sorry, everyone makes mistakes. Live with it, for fuck's sake. Okay. I don't quite understand, like, the fact that you used the word stubbornness there, and it is something that has been touted around and has been mentioned so many times. On Sunday, they play a Manchester City team who quite possibly could put the same squad out who beat Newport 4-1 the other day, with Phil Foden pulling the strings in the centre, and I reckon they'd win. I reckon Man City would still win with their second string lineup, because Chelsea are just not there at the moment. Put aside everything of the players don't want to play for the manager, or the manager doesn't know what he's doing, or the players don't want to do this, put all of that aside. You're playing against a Manchester City team who are arguably one of the best teams that we have ever seen in the Premier League, and surely there's just absolutely no chance. And as soon as he's finished chewing his last cigarette butt on Sunday, I think he's going to be flying for that plane straight away, because I can't see it at all. Of course, he could spring an absolute massive surprise and not play 4-3-3 and not play Jorginho at the base of the midfield, and not play Higuain at the front and Hazard on the left and Pedro on the right, and not play Kante wide right, and not play, should we have Barkley or Kovacevic? I don't know. You know what? It doesn't matter. Play them both. Play both of them. Play with 12 players. You'll still fucking lose. All right? It's like, everyone knows what you're going to do. You're doing it over and over and over again, and it's just not working.
The real question is, what's Goose hitting up to this weekend? Because if I was Goose,
where are you?
If I was Goose, I would be seriously trolling Sarri right now. I would be like, I would book the seat behind the bench, just like, and then Sarri turns around and Goose is like,
I'm here. Just keep that seat warm for me, will you? No, don't stand up. Don't give instructions to the players. Just keep that seat warm for me. Thanks. Yeah, no, it's
every 3 years, Roman gives me some cash.
I like. It's got to be. They've got to be thinking about it, right? There is no message coming out of the Chelsea board or through the Chelsea ranks saying that Sarri is going to be given another year and a half minimum, like Guardiola was given after his first season at Manchester City. There's no way, is there? Surely there's no way. They must already be thinking about who to bring in as an interim manager, an ex-player like Lampard.
There's no thought going into that. Goose Hiddink is going to. It's Goose all the way. It's Goose.
You know who I'd like to see? Rui Faria. I'd like to see Faria there because he knows Chelsea. He was at Chelsea with Mourinho for many, many years. He's ready for. He's taken all his I don't know, whatever. He's ready to be a manager of a big team. I reckon just bring him in. He's like a little bit of an unknown entity as well, and interim manager for 6 months.
In my mind, Rui Faria is hiding in a cabin in some wood somewhere. And he doesn't want anyone to find him because such is his kind of, the scorn and the breakup that him and Jose have had. He's just gone, fuck this. And he's hiding in a cabin somewhere. And if you want Rui
he is. It's in Qatar. That's where he is, right? So that's he's been.
You have actual information. Well, fine.
Yeah. He's the. I'm sorry. He's manager of the top team in the Qatari league. He's Portuguese. I've got a vested interest. Speaking of Portuguese, by the way, we're winning the next European Championships again, back to back. Just putting that out there right now. And the guy who's going to do it all is a young chap called João Felix, and we'll talk about him a little bit later.
Really?
Mate, just wrap up very quickly. He's not on the running order, don't worry. I'll put him in there in a second. Sunday, mate, just let's just finish up with Man City. Man City, obviously, red hot favourites for this match. It's going to be a pulsating match. It's going to be a great football match, I think, for sure. Phil Foden came out at the end of the last match and said the quadruple is on. De Bruyne has quickly gone back and said the quadruple is not on, or at least he didn't say it's not on. He said it's virtually impossible.
Hello, Phil. Phil, do you think the quadruple? Yeah, I think we could do the quadruple. Hey, Foden, sharp about the quadruple. Sorry.
And go get me a quadruple burger from Burger King.
Fucking
mate. It's amazing that someone like Phil Foden has come out and said that, because the pressure, the unwanted pressure everyone loves talking about the quadruple, right? There's not many teams out there with the capabilities, with the ability.
Have you seen what Pep does? What Pep does every time someone says the word quadruple? Pep rolls his eyes all the way around. He rolls them up and they come back round and through down the other way. Because Pep does not I think if anyone orders for anything, if someone walks into the Man City kitchen and goes, you know what, I think I'll have 4 pieces of toast, Pep will be like, what are you, taking the piss? Fuck off.
Get him out. No toast for him.
With his 4. Someone turns up in an Audi Quattro and Pep gets pissed off.
I like it. Mate, I think it's mate, we love seeing it. We love it. There's few things that have not been achieved in footballing, in the footballing world, doubles, trebles, quadruples. Quadruples are unheard of, right? I don't think anyone's done it. Man United famously did the treble back in 1999 with Solskjaer. There's been plenty of other teams as well who've done trebles. Mourinho's done trebles with Inter, if I'm not much mistaken. I think there's
Pep with Barcelona.
Pep with Barcelona, yes. Real Madrid have done a few, but these, they're far and few between. They're not many, and you're gonna have to excuse my ignorance, I think, on this one. And this has been a long-standing thing for me. Is England the only country that has 2 cups?
I believe we are.
I think we are. And we're always complaining about the fact that we've got too many games on. I thought it was staring people right in the face. The fact that we've got 2 cups and nobody else does. Does everyone in England think that all the other countries have got 3 cups? 4 cups. 2 cups. So four competitions. Nobody else can do a quadruple because England are the only team that.
Mate, who
the
won
only
the
country,
charity
that have. No, we can't count the charity.
No, but who won it? Did City win it?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Mate, they're on for the They're on for the Jose Mourinho quintuple.
5.
That's
5.
5.
5. How many fingers?
5 Champions Leagues. You have 0. 0. 5.
5-0. Mate, you know what? If I was Ronaldo, I'm sorry, I'd do the same fucking thing. I'm sorry. I really would. And you can call me a child all you fucking like, but I would love to get up there in fucking Atletico Madrid's face.
You wouldn't wait until you'd been beaten in a football game and it got you. You would be doing
probably
it
not
in the pre-press conference. You turn up to the pre-press
in the tunnel
with a 5
in the tunnel,
just a large 5. Like you'd be like leaning into Koke's face, going.
Hey, you like my new dance?
And Koke would hit you.
Yeah, he would. Oh, he hit me, Mom. Mate, De Bruyne and said no. For me, I'd obviously love it. I don't know about you, but I would absolutely love it if Manchester City were able to do the quadruple, because it would just be, Pep could retire surely after that. Like, what's
no one wants to see a quadruple. Sorry, mate, I do not want to see it. One team.
Okay.
Everything. No, sorry, no.
I just think no. All right. Okay.
No.
Well, shoot Phil Foden now, because if he's what, 18 years old, he's already getting quadruples into his mind. We'll see what happens. Mate, we won't waste any time talking about the Phil Foden debate, because it's just been talked about over and over again, and it's just boring. Let's take a short break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up very quickly with the. I think we'll forget about the FA Cup. FA Cup. Just very quickly, we had the FA Cup last week. We've got the quarterfinal draw now. It was very, very boring. It really was very, very boring, and made everybody start the whole argument of should there be, Premier League, for God's sake. That's what we want. I'm sorry. That's we don't want any of that crap. But the teams through: Watford versus Crystal Palace, Swansea versus Manchester City, Millwall versus Brighton Hove and the Albanians. They got in there, yes. And the only real tasty match that I can see on that one is Wolves against Manchester United. That should be tasty. So the spirit of the Saint takes on the Norwegian Molde. Should be Molde man, but it will now obviously be the Manchester United manager soon. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we will preview the Premier League.
Flying planes out of the side of volcanoes after molesting Italian coaches. Whatever next?
Welcome back to part 3, the final installment of the Premier League preview for the weekend. Mate, it's such an amazing weekend. It is so good. It's got fire everywhere, but obviously we have to start with the thigh rubber. The real tempter, I think, for the weekend is obviously at Old Trafford. Rub that thigh, baby. Rub that thigh.
Oh,
love a bit of thigh.
Oh, lovely.
Manchester United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford on Sunday. Mate, it's just great. This is what the Premier League is for. This is what we live for, what we hope for, what we wait for. I'm going to put it out there. I really do think that this is game of the season, the match of the season, because at least so far anyway, there may be some far more entertaining title decided thigh rubbers a little bit later on down the line. But right now, at this moment in time, the permutations from this one are huge, absolutely huge. If Liverpool lose this, they've lost. I think they've lost the league. I know it's early days. I know we're still in February. I know it's premature, but the knock that Liverpool will get if they were to lose this, first of all, if they lose this, fucking points behind them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, okay, fair enough. They've got a game in hand. But I mean, they haven't been looking over their shoulder all season. And I know you don't want to big anything up with Tottenham or anything, but it is a factor that if Liverpool were to lose this match, and let's just say lose one of their next matches in close succession, they're doing that looking over the shoulder thing. And once you start doing that, you take your eye off the title race. So I think... Sorry, hang on a second. I think this is what's going to happen. Liverpool are going to lose against Man United. It'll probably be close, but 1 or 2-0. And when they lose, it's going to be extremely demoralizing. They'll lose another game and maybe even another one. And Man City will run away with this title league. With this title league. With this league title. With this, it's plausible. You can't say that it's definitely not going to happen. It's totally plausible that Klopp is sadly going to be a little bit found out. I know we all like Klopp and everything, but you got to wonder about his recent decisions, his tactical decisions. Being able to keep the team motivated and up for the challenge. Everybody runs out of steam a little bit at some points, and I reckon Manchester City ran out of steam just after Christmas, or just during the Christmas period. That's when they were at their shakiest. They're back to their best now. I think Manchester City are going to steamroller this and win it by a canter. I think. I'm sorry to say, mate. I don't want it. I'd like a title race, but
mate. The big thing for this game is if Manchester United, who are at home, were to win, then due to the fact that Tottenham still have to play both Liverpool and Manchester City themselves, if Liverpool were to lose this game, it would mean that Tottenham's title destiny is in their own hands. Meaning, if they were to win every game, we'd win the title. Mate,
how beautiful.
Mate, and Harold Edward Kane.
Oh, here we go. We've been 6 weeks without listening to that name. Fucking Harold Edward Kane. Fuck off.
He's back. He's back. Did you see what Poch said about him today?
Oh, mate, he outside of sucking his cock, there really wasn't any other sort of... He was right there going, I'm so happy that
he's an animal.
He's an animal. I'm going to
Sonny's a
him like an ice cream.
I love the Pochettino descriptions. He called Sonny a battery last week. He was like, Sonny's a battery. True, yeah. He's called Dele Alli a horse before. I'm not quite sure what that was about.
Ooh.
And then Harry is an animal.
He's an animal.
I've got some other alternative descriptions for some players that I could think of. Hugo Lloris is a drunk person.
It fits it well. Stop there. Don't worry. Okay. Put them on a list. Or listeners, if you'd like to email in with any...
Harry Winks is a school child.
Harry Winks is a school child. Sonny is a battery, and Harold Edward Kane is an animal. Can you think of any other ones? Email us in to bornoffsidepodcast@gmail.com or leave us a message through our YouTube channels as well. That's always fun. Mate, it's Tottenham. I don't want you to go on too much about them, but Tottenham. Like you said, the destiny is in their own hands if they win every single game after that. So, it's just, and I I think Liverpool are flaky. I think they're flaky. I just don't think they're going to do it. I think Man City will still win the title, but it's good to dream. But mate, look, Tottenham, I mean, they've done superbly well, especially during this period of time. And after it seems like the Tottenham story has been just a roller coaster of shit from day one. From the moment that they weren't able to sign anyone through the summer, and then all the way through with this, are they too tired debate? When are we getting into the stadium debate? Are we going to sign anyone at Christmas debate? Can we make it through? Now Dele Alli's injured. Now Kane's injured. We told you so. They're all saying we told you so to Mauricio. Oh, Mauricio is going to Man United. All this shit that's been going on with Tottenham.
The stadium. You haven't even mentioned the stadium.
Yeah, I did. It was the second thing I mentioned after the summer.
I forgot
stadium shit.
Oh yeah, you did.
Look, and you should. I think it's the only way that you can get over this is you should forget about the stadium. Just completely forget about it, because otherwise it's just gonna get you down. And I don't want you to be down. I want you to be happy.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. So look, mate. I'm not even going to let you talk about Tottenham.
But by the way, I think Liverpool, Man United will end in a draw. Is what I think.
All right. Okay, so you think that'll be what is it? You can go for a 0-0, score draw,
2-2.
What do you reckon? Look at you, Mr. Adventure. 2-2. I'm going to go for a Man United 2-0 win.
Divock Origi to get one.
Oh, not Divock again. Oh, bloody hell! He always shows up and does weird stuff. Does Divock? I don't know. It's he's a little bit like I'm expecting him to do a second Batshuayi and smack the ball against the post, and then I'm expecting him to do something like that, Divock. Except maybe this time he'll just hit his head against the post or something like that. When he's trying to head the ball and he misses the ball completely and heads the post. So Man United, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win, I think, for this one for Manchester United against Liverpool. It is a juicy encounter. Two of arguably the fiercest rivals in the Premier League and have been for forever. They absolutely hate each other, and in many ways, it's almost like the final of the Copa America was like, it's almost worse to lose it than it is better to win it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's actually one of those games that you just don't want to lose. You've got your neighbors, your neighbors over there, rubbing it in your face next day when you go to work. So it's a real, yeah. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic match, I think. All right, so that's the late kickoff. No, it's not. It's the 2:00 kickoff on Sunday. At the same time on Sunday, there's also a small matter of Arsenal versus Southampton. And, it's just, I have no idea what's going to happen in this one, apart from the fact that Southampton are probably going to get a spanking. We do. Southampton are in desperate need at the moment. They've got, unfortunately, Danny Ings has been ruled out for another couple of weeks. But mate, Arsenal are I believe, Arsenal are quite tired because they've come off the back of a quite fatiguing European match. There was a lot of pressure on this match as well. Everybody saying, that they had to beat Bate after their, sort of tepid display in the last performance in the last match. Mate, they came through pretty darn well. They beat Bate 3-0 at the empty crates. And what I loved was the scorers for Arsenal. Was the first one was an own goal by a chap called Volkov. The second one was by Mustafi. And the third one was by Socrates Papastathopoulos.
Mate, I can say it. Papa don't preach a lot upon us.
Papa don't preach a lot upon us. My name is Socrates. Papa don't do it. Something like that?
Yeah, I like that. My name is...
made up my mind. I'm scoring against Bate. I'm gonna score against Bate, yeah. There it is. And he scored the winner. You're in the background. It's up. It's up. So I reckon they're tied because they put out a pretty strong team. Apart from the fact that they got Mustafi and Papastopoulos in goal. In defense. And so I'm praying that they're just going to be tired, and they become complacent and tired, and we go up to the empty crates, and we do them.
Well, you did them already this season, didn't you?
We did, yes, and we'd be the only team to do the double over them if we did beat them there. But I can't see it. I don't think anyone else can. If we're going to be realistic as opposed to hopeful for the whole thing, it's going to be a home win, isn't it, really? What's your score prediction for this, and what's your general prediction for this?
Southampton to nick a 1-0 on the break. And
Charlie Austin.
Oh, see, Charlie Austin with the penalty, and Arsenal to have somewhere in the region of 27 shots.
Yes, they hit the post twice, the stanchion a couple of times, and also McCartney, Paul, that is. He will be in goal for Southampton, and he'll save one with his face, and he'll get his nose broken, like Sane broke his fellow mate's Schalke's goalkeeper's face the other night as well, which I thought was very nice of him. It was like a like a gift. Mate, we'll move on to some of the other matches, but to be honest, there's none really that really sort of catch your eye as much as the Man United Liverpool one, of course, but all the other ones still have tasty implications. Tasty implications. Mate, we'll start with Burnley versus Tottenham. Burnley haven't lost in the Premier League this year, and are off the back of a remarkable turnaround. But surely Tottenham are in something of a hot streak. They can't lose this game, can they?
Harold, Edward, Kane.
Mate, he's starting on the bench. He's not playing. It would be stupid to start him. Although, yes, you're right. Pochettino has just been effectively rubbing his oiled up body against him because he's so happy at how he's been doing in training. That's how happy he's been. He has come out and just. The way he's spoken about Kane is he's ready. He is 100% ready to go. It's quite surprising.
Burnley in February. Sorry, but that's what Harry Kane lives for. He lived for Burnley away in a February Saturday early kickoff when only people in Asia are watching.
Yes, it's so true. And me.
Loves it. Yeah, you'll be watching.
I will.
You'll be watching. Sean Dyche will be admiring from the sidelines. Oh, yeah, we'll probably lose 2-0. 2-0 Burnley.
No,
2-0 Burnley. What's his face? The Austrian guy up front. What's his name? Ashley Barnes. And I'm going. Does Joey Barton still play for them?
No. No, he does not.
Who's the equivalent?
Let's try.
Joey Barton?
Where's Joey Barton? Joey Barton, where is he?
Manager at Fleetwood, isn't he? Something like that.
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah. And I haven't heard much from him, so he must be doing well.
Oh, God. Horrible.
Yeah,
2-0 Burnley. 2-0 Burnley.
Are you serious?
Yes.
All right. Are you serious?
No.
You're actually serious?
I mean, put it down as my prediction. Because
all right, well, we all know what you're doing then, because there's no way it's going to be 2-0. It's going to be 2-0 Spurs. Son to get both, I reckon, taking pressure off others, and I think Harry Kane will come on. He won't start. All right, then let's. Why don't we move on to another very, very tasty match for the weekend? Bournemouth against Wolves. Now, I say it's tasty. It's not really tasty in regards to league table pointage, because both are really effectively safe. And Wolves, with one eye on the cup, may do something here and change him up or anything. I don't know. I don't think so, though. They've been pretty consistently playing a lot of their usual players. I just think this is a tasty match because both teams love to play, and for the partisan viewer, it should really be a very entertaining match. If they go for it, but if they don't, then it might even be one of those games that doesn't have many goals in it, but it will still have quality, won't it?
I don't know. I find it very excited to get excited about this game.
All right, then 0-0 it is for your prediction.
I mean, no, I think it'd be quite possibly a fun game with a lot of goals in it, but it just doesn't matter. Like, they're not going up, they're not going down, they're not going left, they're not going right. It's just
pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. All right. What's your prediction then? Quickly.
1-1.
1-1. All right. I'm going for a Wolves win. I'm going for 1-3. They're going to do them. Mate, let's move on. Leicester versus Crystal Palace. What are we doing there?
Also difficult. I mean, Leicester aren't going. I think Crystal Palace will be all right. Batshuayi with his face. Christian Benteke with his depression. Zaha with his diving. Leicester City with their actually quite good to watch niceness, but Claude Puel with his utter dullness. 1-1.
Right in there. Besides, I don't think Zaha's playing, by the way. He got an extra game ban after his protest against
his sarcastic applause. Well, if there's no Wilf, change it to a 1-0 City win. Leicester City win.
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to go for as well. So 1-0 as well. Cardiff against Watford, mate. Cardiff against Watford.
Watford 2-0. Troy Deeney to get a goal and a red card.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. I was thinking of 2-1. Okay. So Deeney, red card. Beautiful. Newcastle versus Huddersfield. Mate, big one at the bottom for Newcastle, really. They do need to get these points, don't they? Huddersfield are pretty much down and out. You'd almost think now Huddersfield might start playing with a freedom, right? We're kind of down. There's not really much else to. Obviously, we can fight for something, but they've gone under the sink line, haven't they? They've they're down there. They must surely just let their shoulders down a little bit now and believe that they can just try and play and try and enjoy the rest of their time in their Premier League. And that, of course, is extremely dangerous for Newcastle, isn't it? But what do we see here?
I see a quite comfortable Newcastle win. I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0. Okay. I think Huddersfield are going to get a draw out of this. I really do. All right. And we'll finish off with the last one. West Ham versus Fulham. Mate, could you think of a match that you would hate more to watch than the horrible Hammers against fucking Fulham? What do you reckon?
Little harsh. Mitro's still there. I'm just going to go with my heart here and say 3-0 Fulham. I mean, there's no way in God's green earth that that's happening. But
nope.
No, why not? Let's put it in.
Mate, I'd love to go with your heart on that one. My heart and my mind. No, not my heart. My mind says a West Ham win. So I'm going to put 2-0 down for West Ham. And that is it for our predictions of the Premier League preview. I'd just like to finish up with a couple of very quick things off topic there. I've just deleted that last line because we won't talk about it. But mate, just a couple of very quick ones. Can we spare a thought for poor Neymar, who apparently cried for 2 days after his most recent injury? Can we spare a moment? Maybe even, do you want like a minute's silence or something? Or what should we do? What can we do for poor baby Nene at this moment in time for him?
Poor Nene's had to cry because a nasty man stood on his foot. No.
Yeah, and he was crying for 2 days as well, which makes me wonder whether he knows anything about the struggle for existence in this real world that we live in, that one would cry for 2 days whilst earning in excess of £300,000 a week for sitting up and doing pretty much sweet FA. And in many ways, this injury has just opened up the gates for him to move to Real Madrid now. I mean, PSG must be thinking like, this guy he's just all wrong, right? He's wrong for the team. He's just, he's just not fun at all, and he just gets himself injured all the time. Open up the door, let him go to Real Madrid. We've had enough.
Bye, Nene. The worst thing about Nene is, have you seen those adverts that he does for Wish, where he buys 5 video cameras for no apparent reason? These are the worst advertisements of all time. Like, they are horrendously bad, and he should be shot.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, fair enough. Like they did, like they used to do in the old days, right?
Not to kill him.
The Second World War and stuff.
Maybe in the hand.
Oh, sorry.
Just shoot him in the hand.
In the hand. All right. Okay. Like they
Somewhere
do
painful.
Punishment in the favelas in Rio, for example, when, their drug deals go wrong and, okay. I mean, it's still a bit sadistic, but okay, fair enough. I just think just shot in the face, repeatedly is far more humane, I think. But anyway, we're talking about Sergio Ramos here now. Let's flip away because we need to finish this podcast now. Mate, Sergio Ramos, everybody's favorite bastard or hated favorite bastard, certainly yours. You've come out on quite a few occasions and done it. Mate, he's got 2 very big talking points this last week. The first one, we'll just go for it straight off when they played Hi Girona, and he got sent off for the 25th time in his
Bye Girona.
Girona. You did it.
Hi Girona.
Hi Girona. Because Girona have been the first team to accept playing in the United States against Barcelona next season. By Girona, but actually hi Girona, because they just beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, which was a real shocker, which apparently has, which basically has just shot Real Madrid's chances out the roof of getting the title. But Sergio Ramos is the big talking point. 25th time that he's been sent off in his career. Mate, just tell me very quickly, are you surprised?
I'm surprised that he can have won that many trophies and scored that many goals and accumulated that many red cards. I mean, what's the average suspension for a red card? 2 matches? That means 25. Yep. That's 50 matches. That's like a season. Like Sergio
very
Ramos,
busy. Yeah.
Sergio Ramos has missed more than a season through suspension. You sometimes think of those players and you're like, oh, the poor guy, he missed a season because of that injury. Like Shearer back in the day, and Owen and Ramsey, and all of these people who've missed, a season.
Chamberlain now, and
Sergio Ramos has missed a season through suspension, and maybe that's why he manages to keep going so long.
Because he doesn't get injured, because he's suspended all the time.
Could well be. Like, when we look back at the 14 years of Sergio Ramos, is because we have to take a year off.
Yeah, no, it's hard to see what else, because he's not like one of the dirty players that we're so used to from the past,
no, mate,
right? Those Frank Rijkaards and those. No, he's filthy, but he's not a Gattuso, is he? He's not a Roy Keane. He doesn't go out there to chop people's legs off. He doesn't miss time tag. He's a defender. He has to time his tackles really well. And he's a world-class defender. I'm sorry, we have to put him in that world-class category. I know you hate it. But he is a world-class defender. But 25 times, and that's just in his club career. I think he's also been sent off 2 or 3 times for his country as well. So just add that. And the other talking point that Ramos has brought us so eloquently to, and which we will finish our podcast on today, mate, did Ramos get a yellow card on purpose against Ajax so that he would miss the second leg of Ajax to guarantee that he would be good to go for the semi-finals onwards for Real Madrid in the Champions League?
Yes, he did. And he admitted to it on camera and then tried to lie about it.
No, I didn't hear the transcript in Spanish, yeah? I didn't.
I don't need to.
But from my understanding is, he blatantly, the guy blatantly said, "Did you do it on purpose?" And he went, yeah, I did. I got the yellow card on purpose. And then when he realized how much trouble he was in, about 48 hours later, he came back and said, no. What I meant was, I did the foul on purpose. It wasn't the yellow that I did on purpose, So. Yeah, it's not the first time that he's been accused of this, and it's not probably won't be the last. Regardless of how old he is, he'll probably still have this again. Mate, has the decision been made? At the time of recording, I don't believe there has been a decision made, has there, yet, on whether he is going to miss, because he'll be banned for 2 matches. I believe Carvajal had a similar, was it Carvajal? Someone else at Real Madrid a couple of seasons ago had a similar thing, and he got banned for 2 to 3 matches on top of that. So could be in big trouble here, old Sergio.
Teddy.
Yes, Abasa.
Yes, no, that's it. I just like saying the word Sergio.
Teddy. All right, mate.
I should go.
All right, I think it is time to go, mate. We've done pretty well today from Simeone's ball sack right the way through to Sir Harold Edward Kane's animalistic tendencies. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we need to cover. We will be back next Tuesday to review the big Sunday's League Cup final match between Chelsea and Man City, overseeing Sarri's imminent departure, and of course the battle at Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Liverpool. From me, Jason, goodbye. And from Monsieur Le David,
au revoir, mes amis.
Au revoir, adieu. Until next time.
Bye.